Hi, welcome back to my channel. This book is pretty much about three characters. First of all, let's talk about the book. It's called We Fly Beneath the Stars by Suzanne Kelman, an excellent historical fiction book that takes place in 1942 Europe. Our three characters are Tasha, Luca, and Tasha's sister, Nadia. Now, when you meet Tasha and Luca, they are young and in love. And all Luca wants to do is to marry Tasha. But Tasha has bigger dreams. In fact, she's being trained as a pilot. And she loves Luca to distraction. And they have a very strong relationship, a strong physical relationship, in fact. But there's no way that she's ready to get married. But Luca joins the Air Force, and Tasha is devastated. So she goes and she joins what ends up being an all-female bomber battalion with hopes of being close to Luca, possibly even flying and fighting with Luca, bombing the Germans. This is what she's hoping that she can do. It'll get her that much closer to Luca. But then we have her older sister, Nadia. I think they're separated by 2 years in age. Nadia gets married. She marries a man who, on an intellectual level, they match, but on an emotional, intimate level, they don't match. But Nadia believes till death do you part, and she's determined to honor her marriage. Okay? Now, while Nadia is navigating what turns out to be a difficult and disappointing marriage, her husband also joins the military. So Nadia is left all alone. Tasha's gone. Her husband's gone. So guess what? Nadia follows Tasha. Tasha followed Luca. Nadia follows Tasha. Now, as this female-only battalion was being formed, there were some very interesting things that I learned about in a time of sacrifice and war and women. Like, there were no female uniforms or even boots. So these women had to wear male uniforms and male boots. And what they flew was something very similar to crop dusters. They didn't fly the more advanced aircraft. They were looked down upon by their comrades, by their fellow pilots, simply because they were women. That was interesting to me. But let's get back to our characters. Even before Tasha can reunite with Luca, although everything now has to be done on a professional level, they cannot have a relationship because of their responsibilities as pilots. Tasha and Nadia have to navigate their relationship as sisters. And as Nadia comes in, Tasha was there first, but Nadia excels, proves far more talented and skilled than Tasha. So there's a lot of friction between them. The first friction is Tasha feels like, I want to be on my own. I want to do this on my own. I want to prove myself on my own. But here Nadia comes in, and are these sisters going to work together and go on these dangerous missions? Or are they going to end up losing their lives in the sky? And like I said, their planes are nothing short of being, like I said, crop dusters. Very, very, very below what the men have as far as what they have available. And what I liked about this book is not only do we have the story that evolves between Tasha and Nadia, But we see the relationship that they form with the other female pilots. And then we see what happens with Luca, and that's what makes the story tragic. But the story takes even more of a tragic turn at some point, and I won't say at what point, because of the whole, we'll just say the whole thing. What is the whole thing? Fighting in airplanes, dropping bombs during World War II. Danger, 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 right? And the thing that I like about what Suzanne Kelman did, and this is in any book that I read by her, is she bases her stories on true historical characters, fictionalized with literary license, but nonetheless based on real people and events. Another thing that she does is she tells us about certain aspects of the war that I never learned in school, and I would never know of if I didn't read these excellent books. And then they were called Russian night witches because they slept during the day and they flew at night. And then the other part that I mentioned is being looked down upon by the male pilots, even to the point that it was harassment, okay? But they were brave, they were fearless, they were strong, they were courageous. And that is what makes this book such an intense, excellent read. Heartbreaking at times, no doubt. I can think of 3 specific situations that brought me to tears in this book. That's what this book does. That's what Suzanne Kelman does. Now, I'm just curious, how many of her books have I read? And I'm going to guess 6. I'm just going to guess that. I'm waiting for Goodreads to go to my books, and we're going to find out how many of her books I have read. Goodreads is taking forever. Okay, there we go. Let's see how many of her books I have read. Goodreads tells me that I have read 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the 5th book. Okay, I thought it was 6, but this is book number 5. The other ones are View Across the Rooftops. That was the first book I read by her. And guess what? I read that book in 2019, but do you know I remember that story? Oh, yes, I do. Then I read When We Were Brave, Under a Sky on Fire, and Garden of Secrets. She's an excellent, excellent writer. I love her stuff, and I'm telling you, you will love it too if you like well-written historical fiction. And there's a bonus, Kindle Unlimited. That's right, Kindle Unlimited. So check out this book, We Fly Beneath the Stars, I think it was. I closed it. Yeah, We Fly Beneath the Stars by Suzanne Kelman. Excellent book, and I hope that you get a chance to read it yourself. Thank you for watching.